ambience, the cuisine, the experience. It's all about culture in varying forms. This is the Ohio Cultural Alliance. The Ohio Cultural Alliance is a young organization founded in 1987 and based in the Mahoning Valley. We are dedicated to understanding cultures both similar and different from our own. The OCA meets the first Monday each month, September through June, to experience the ambience, the cuisine, and the cultural stimulation of a different country or ethnic group. The idea of OCA came about as a spin-off of a course taught 4 consecutive summers by YSU Professor of History Dr. George D. Beelan. Mexico in the Classroom experiences included local classroom lectures and traveling field lectures in Mexico. Many participants wanted to study more about Mexico and also other countries. With the traveling alumni as a nucleus, the Ohio Cultural Alliance launched in September 1987. The OCA name origin is found in similar cultural groups that Dr. Beelan has been associated with over the years. The Dallas Cultural Alliance, the Guadalajara Cultural Alliance, the Canada Cultural Alliance, and the World Cultural Alliance, originally based in Guadalajara. In the first 2 years of OCA monthly meeting, attendance grew from around 15 to almost 30 people per meeting. We explored the culture of Mexico and several other countries, developed an understanding that all countries have problems, but they also have rich traditions. It wasn't long before we embraced the notion that the people of the world are more nearly similar than dissimilar. During this trial and error period, we launched our first outreach programs. Area youth reached across borders through the OCA Grade School Pen Pal program. Through Books to the World, OCA members collected hundreds of books, which we shipped to Honduras. Additionally, the OCA sponsored an empathy contest, providing 3 students travel to Mexico for their winning essays on empathy or world understanding. OCA's third year, 1989 to 1990, became even more exciting and productive, with almost 70 people attending the monthly meetings. We again sponsored an empathy essay contest, sending another winner to Mexico. We were able to financially assist the Youngstown Connection, the acclaimed singing and dancing group from the Youngstown City Schools, to perform locally, nationally, and in several countries abroad. OCA co-sponsored member travel to the USSR, Europe, and Mexico. We received a $1,500 grant from the International Institute Foundation and received tax-exempt status from the state of Ohio. At the heart of all of our activity was the attempt to develop an empathetic understanding of people different from us. In this third year, we implemented a theme. Common threads in a diverse world seemed to embody all of what we were about. Through the year, we heard from experts like Drs. Warren Young, YSU Astronomy Professor, John White, YSU Archaeology Professor, and Chris Beisch, YSU Philosophy Professor, who reminded us of humankind's common heritage. We then explored some of the universal and unique aspects of several of the world's religions. Rabbi Mitchell Kornspan spoke of Judaism. Reverend Michael Coriglio, Jr. covered Catholicism. Dr. Ronald Gould shared views on Episcopalianism. Reverend George Pappas enlightened us on Greek Orthodoxy. Reverend Morris Lee introduced us to Third Baptist. And Dr. Ikram Khawaja and Imam Munir Sarid gave us some insight into Islam. From their oral comments, we compiled our first booklet entitled Common Threads in a Diverse World. Available for sale throughout the community, area schools and libraries were provided copies. In this third year, OCA added the attractions to hold each meeting at an appropriate site and to serve a meal that reflected the particular religion or culture being presented that month. Our outreach this year included a response to a specific request by officials from Guadalajara, Mexico. We collected hundreds of pounds of football equipment, which we shipped to Guadalajara for use by city youth. The OCA really hit its stride during the 1990-91 fourth year. We designed a monthly meeting format comprised of specific components. The monthly meeting format, which we still follow, includes a year-long theme to be woven into each cultural-specific monthly meeting, the selection of an appropriate and relevant site for each culture-specific monthly meeting, a brief business meeting, a meal that is topic-appropriate and often ethnic, a 30-minute cultural enrichment within the year's theme, a 30-minute talk about a country within the year's theme, a starting time of 6:30 p.m., and an ending time of 9 p.m. We chose the theme of celebrating life in a troubled world for this fourth year. Incorporating the new format, we explored some of the real problems of select countries, but how they continue to celebrate their respective heritages. To start the year off, Dr. George Lachitsky, YSU Professor of History, using slides discussed Eastern Europe. Next, Judge Joseph Komasic showed through slides, music, and a meal that included roast lamb how troubled Croatia was, but how they continued to celebrate life. Then Dr. Helmut Boak enlightened us about Austria, after which YSU Professor Roman Rudnitsky offered a beautiful piano selection in a Viennese tradition. In December, Dr. George D. Beelan, YSU Professor of History, and John Heyer gave some insights regarding Mexico. We were treated to a native cuisine as well as to music of Mexico. Dr. Amos Bion, YSU Professor of History, spoke of celebrating heritage of Liberia amidst troubles there. We delighted in the culture through storytelling. In February, Dr. Elias Sadie spoke poignantly of the fracturing of his beautiful ancestral land of Lebanon. The OCA members were treated to music, dance, and cuisine of Lebanon. YSU Professor of Anthropology Mark Schutz in March eloquently detailed some of the internal strife in Ireland as we enjoyed the music, poetry, and cuisine of Ireland. Drs. Alia Krishnan and Ikram Kawaja of YSU each addressed from their research and perspective the topic Origins of the India-Pakistan Conflicts and Possible Solutions. Each showed through lecture, music, dance, attire, and the cuisine something of life in their native lands. Professor Hugh Earnhardt of YSU's History Department concluded the year's program with a focus upon the United States, complete with flags, patriotic videos, buntings, and a meal consisting of hot dogs, 3 hamburgers, beans, potato salad, apple pie, and ice cream. A fitting conclusion to our quest to celebrate life in a troubled world. To these early presenters, the OCA owes a debt of gratitude. They followed a consistent approach that has kept subsequent OCA themes vibrant and informative. Some themes have run for 1 year, others for 2 years. Thus far, the themes have been The Making of America, a Land of Hope, where we explore the arrival of the major ethnic groups to America and to the Valley. Doing Business in Another Culture, where we learned how to engage in business with 10 select countries and the extent to which the U.S. and the Mahoning Valley engage in business with these nations. The Family in Another Culture, where we gained an appreciation of how our customs and laws regarding family are alike and not alike. The Arts in Another Culture, where we considered which of the arts are most valued in the countries which we selected. We delved into 10 select countries where we looked at healthcare in other countries. As a highlight of this year, the OCA sponsored a 2-day workshop on alternative and traditional medicines. Several medical doctors and other speakers discussed practices such as acupuncture, humor, tai chi, yoga, holistic health, hypnosis, hospice care, massage, and pet therapy, and more. Our headliner, Dr. Larry Dosey, spoke on 3 occasions during the 2 days. Dr. Dosey's major focus and the theme of his 6 books is the power of prayer in healing. Reflections on the Millennium was a natural topic for the 1999-2000 year. During the 2-year period, we vicariously visited some 20 countries. We concentrated upon each country's origin, period of greatness, and status as we entered into the new millennium. Through the theme of monuments, memories, and milestones of the world, we concentrated upon key elements that one must be aware of when traveling to those countries which we selected. The immigration experience, from the Old World to the Mahoning Valley, was a 2-year theme through which we considered the journey of the immigrant. What was it like to leave the Old World? What did they find when they arrived here? What they accomplished in the Mahoning Valley? We celebrated a Croatian Christmas through song and dance with Živeli, a world-class Croatian group from Columbus, Ohio. Živeli's troupe of 60 men, women, and children shared Croatian Christmas traditions at the Canfield High School. The program attracted nearly 1,000 people, and the Croatian dinner that followed was attended by 375 people, a sellout. Enriching elements of life has been the theme for both the 2005-06 and 2006-07 years. Although we followed the same routine as in previous years, we departed from the country focus for at least 2 reasons. First, we hoped that concept-based cultural exploration might yield far different insight than country-based exploration of a culture. Second, because there were a number of speakers that we wanted to hear that addressed topics not related to our previous themes. Accordingly, we were treated to enriching elements of life such as music, art, drama, film, religion, poetry, dance, philosophy, literature, architecture, among others. The component format for each OCA meeting contributes to the OCA attraction. Anticipation of the known and comfortable format enhances the participants' ability to compare and contrast cultures and diversity. For the cultural enrichment component, the OCA has been fortunate to have access to the talented YSU faculty. Many have been eager and willing to share their talents with us. Some have served as speakers. Others have shared their talent in the form of music, dance, art, drama, readings, or storytelling. The selection of a theme-relevant site at which to hold each meeting is a component that helps participants immerse in the event. Often as we can, the OCA monthly meetings are held at churches, synagogues, mosques, temples, or ethnic social halls that are culturally appropriate. Other sites are considered some of the jewels of the valley. We've been fortunate to hold meetings at Youngstown State University, the Arms Museum, the Labor and Industry Museum, Stambaugh Auditorium, Fellows Riverside Gardens in Mill Creek Park, the Butler Art Museum, the Youngstown Playhouse. Before we grew so large, now almost 250 people at each meeting, we were able to meet at some of the local restaurants such as the Jade Court, Golden Hunan, and Grand Buffet for an Asian experience, Casa Ramirez and the Mexican Club to enhance the Hispanic flavor, the Manicor for German dining, the Arab Community Center for Middle Eastern fare, and the Croatian Lodge 66 for a taste of Croatia. Other popular venues for our meetings include the Saxon Club, the Georgetown, and the Youngstown Club. Each site either has its own ambience or has readily adapted to be the culturally relevant site component desired by the OCA. A meal that is topic appropriate and often ethnic is the OCA component that sets the table for countless variations on chicken, pasta, salads, soups, and desserts. OCA regulars have become connoisseurs in the variegated preparations of beef, veal, sausage, and other types of pork. But what really sparks the interest of our members are the endless varieties of ethnic foods, many which are unique to the valley. So we've tried pierogi, halushki, stuffed cabbage, Swedish meatballs, Japanese clam soup, Turkish mezes, Irish lamb stew, tacos, sweet potato pie, kolache, lamb on a spit, rosti, pasticcio, baklava, egg drop soup, chicken paprikash, borscht, mamaliga sitakana tepui, gefilte fish, and so many more. At times, the OCA has been described as a group going places, and indeed we have, vicariously and actually. Vicariously in the sense that we deal with many countries of the world through our monthly meetings, almost as though we were transported there by way of the lectures and the cultural enrichment. We also go places actually, as we travel from site to site throughout the Mahoning Valley to hold our meetings, with an ever-increasing attendance. And of course, the ultimate cultural experience of actual travel abroad for many OCA members is sometimes subsidized by the OCA, and more such travel is planned. The OCA sponsored what started as a two-phased cultural exchange program between artists of music, literature, and art of Youngstown, Ohio, and Guadalajara, Mexico. The program was so well received that OCA launched a third phase of the Youngstown-Guadalajara Cultural Exchange. 12 OCA members traveled to Guadalajara with their own artistic works and those of other colleagues, a total of 150 works. The works were displayed, performed, or read in Mexico and extremely well received. OCA has also organized and sponsored international trips to China, Cuba, and Croatia. Of a more regional nature, OCA members found a great cultural experience traveling to the Cathedral of Learning in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Cathedral of Learning is a series of ethnic rooms in the University of Pittsburgh structure. These nationality rooms are individual ethnic classrooms which reflect the art, history, culture, architecture, and folklore of the respective countries. The OCA has continually sought venues through which to expand awareness and appreciation of various cultures. Towards that goal, we cooperated with like-minded groups and published media. We have co-sponsored speakers and programs with other local groups. The Youngstown chapter of the United Nations Association has been a natural partner in several OCA programs. With YSU Radio and Friends of Music, OCA has participated in hosting several performers. We've also cooperated with YSU's School of Nursing and with several other YSU departments. Among our greatest achievements, however, are 3 edited booklets that relate to OCA programming and travel, Common Threads in a Diverse World, and The Peopling of the Mahoning Valley, an Ethnic Encyclopedia, are written and edited versions of programs initially presented at OCA meetings. Guadalajara, A View from the North, is the 3rd booklet that chronicles one of our cultural exchanges with Guadalajara, Mexico. The OCA has also sponsored and produced 2 films, one which aired on PBS. The first film, OCA Going Places, summarizes our first 6 years and is a prelude to this current film. Our second film, The Peopling of the Mahoning Valley, aired on PBS. The film is a 42-minute history of the valley by way of the people who migrated here.
And my favorite one, 407 years ago, our forefathers brought forth onto this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in the great civil war, testing whether that nation, meaning ours, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. Abraham Lincoln, a lawyer.
Arguably the Valley's largest organization that meets on a monthly basis, the OCA continues to go places and to promote education and community connectedness through stimulating lectures, cultural and artistic enrichment, and traditional and somewhat adventurous cuisine. The OCA is a labor of love for those of us involved in its development. We continually try to promote an understanding of our local area, our country, and the world by an appeal to our senses: mind, heart, sight, hearing, appetite, and a need to build community. To the extent that we have gone places and have learned about some of our fellow human beings, we are gratified and thankful. To the extent that we have fallen short by omission or commission, we are committed to traveling even farther down the road to peace and understanding of all peoples.